Good day, liberators and fellow citizens. The question I'm asking you today is there strength in unity? Very simple. Um, the answer should be a definite yes. However, when I look back over the past 18 months, almost 2 years since the national state of disaster has been declared, we have been approached several times by people and organizations to say that let's take hands and let's unify in one united front or united forum, and then we can together fight our common enemy, which is currently the government, who is totally abusing our constitution and totally violating our constitutional rights. And but the reality is that wasn't that the main purpose of a political party, to oppose government and to eventually be the political party in control, and to form the government? So political parties have been opposing the government since its beginning. So for us as organizations to have a front to oppose the government and what's currently happening in South Africa together might sound like a very noble thing to do and the right thing to do, but in the beginning, Liberty Fighters Network participated in those efforts. Particular with one guy that's very well known in the opposition circles, who have communicated with us a lot, and we literally, and this person already, he was the one who got other political parties to back him as well, and we were very happy with the idea, and it sounds very logical to have a unified forum. But the moment when we started participating, we've spent a lot of effort, a lot of time from our side, which we could have spent on our goals, our ideas, and eventually all our hard work went just down the drain. Because this person actually sourced information from numerous of other political parties and organizations and people, and then started his own individual thing. I'm not going to mention names, but the fact of the matter is that subversion is unfortunately applicable when it comes to currently having a joint forum to take things further. Talking about political parties, people, how many political parties are there in South Africa? The last formal count and information that I could retrieve was there are 504 political parties registered in South Africa. Wow. That's a massive amount. Then 325 political parties contested in the last local government elections. 325. Now, how many political parties are there in government, in parliament? That's only 14. Now, from the 504, you already down to only 14 who's represented in government or in parliament as such. So that makes your chance, when I decide today that I'm going to start a political party, which I will not do, my chances of getting in parliament is 2.8%. People, 2.8% is in maths. It's really considered to be you don't have any chance of succeeding. So for 14 political parties to get themselves into parliament, that is some achievement, and you must know that you are not just voted in that position, you are actually chosen to be a political party, to be represented in government and in parliament. So we've been approached numerous of times, I've said, by organizations to unify. Some 2 weeks ago, it might have been roughly in the beginning of December 2021. A guy from a very well prominent movement contacted me and said that Liberty Fighters Network must be in a meeting tomorrow evening in Cape Town. And I said, what is going on? And he said, well, we are fed up with the government, and we want to unite our forces, and we want all the people who's going to be at this meeting on tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. So I said, okay. Number one, we've been asked, there's so many unification movements, and we've been asked so many times, and we did not say no, but from those parts that or instances where we have participated or tried to participate, it really went haywire, and it was totally subversive and not of any, it was totally negative towards the work that we are doing. So then I said, well, okay, we might be there. I was very interested in finding out actually who's participating there. But the key element here is that imagine there is a person who has been tasked by government, for example, to get all the opposition organizations into one basket, take photographs of them in one meeting that they attend, so that we know who they are and we can identify these people, and then we can also listen to what their strategies are, and then we know exactly as government what policies we need to frame next time in order to circumvent whatever is planned against what we want to put on the table. Doesn't that sound very, very possible? And then now a couple of days back, this one guy who says that he's a follower of Liberty Fighters Network from the beginning have also approached us and said, well, we need to be on this, he wants us to be on this show. It's a podcast, a video, and there's about 40 organizations that's going to be there, and each one will have 5 minutes to say what they are busy doing with, and to promote their organizations, and then eventually we will have a decision process whereby we're going to vote in what process we need to follow next. So I've told this person, very noble, thank you very much, but we will sit this one out. We don't want to participate in subversive tactics at this stage, although it's very noble and it's very great to know that there are some people who wants to unify everyone. You know, if you've got a meeting with a 40-odd organizations represented, and each one of their leaders or representatives must make a 5-minute introduction of what they are doing to fight the government. You know, if I'm government and I would have an agent there who's observing, I would record this, because it's a repository of our opposition. If we know what our opposition is doing and what they're trying to do and planning to do, we can counter that. We know then what they are doing. Yes, intelligence would seek what any organization wants to do very, very quickly and effectively. But imagine that this is a war that we are fighting, for example, and it has been suggested by many that we could be finding ourselves in World War III at present. So imagine we are fighting a war and all the allies are now coming together and we are telling each other this is what we're going to do and we are deciding this is the way forward. What if Nazi Germany is going to get hold of this? What will Nazi Germany do with that information? It's just logic that this is a time whereby unity can turn out to be very, very destructive and not uplifting. I'm a big fan. I've got a child inside of me still. Besides watching animation movies, still with my children, I'm a big fan of the Star Wars series. And whether you like it and whether you're not, and whether it's got satanic principles laid down in it, etc., it's irrelevant. That's not how I see it. When I watch the Star Wars series, I see a story playing off which George Lucas has written in 1970s already. And eventually only episode 4, 5 and 6 came out, starting in 1977, and eventually 2019 the last Star Wars came out, episode 9. But he obviously planned it and in a certain way. And what he did was that he put in the story everything that is happening today. He explains the economics, the good and the evil, and the rise of democracy and the republic, and then how eventually the republic turns out to be the evil. Watch this clip. It's a short clip from Star Wars: The Rise of the Sith from 2005.
Sometimes I wonder what's happening to the Jedi Order. I think this war is destroying the principles of the Republic.
Have you ever considered that we may be on the wrong side?
What do you mean?
What if the democracy we thought we were serving no longer exists? And the Republic has become the very evil we've been fighting to destroy?
I don't believe that. And you're sounding like a separatist.
This war represents a failure to listen. Now you're closer to the Chancellor than anyone. Please, ask him to stop the fighting and let diplomacy resume.
Don't ask me to do that. Make a motion in the Senate where that kind of a request belongs.
What is it?
Nothing.
Don't do this. Don't shut me out. Let me help you. Hold me. Like you did by the lake on Naboo. So long ago when there was nothing but our love. No politics, no plotting, no war.
Well, in this clip, you heard Padame saying that what if this democracy is not there anymore, and the republic have become the very evil that we need to fight against. The lust of having a republic. And let's look at the United Nations, for example, whether you like the United Nations or not, but let's just look at the facts. Now, we said that there's 197 countries in the world. 193 belongs to the United Nations. 2 are observers, the Holy See, the Vatican, and also the state of Palestine. And then there are 2 countries which are not formally recognized as countries as yet, Kosovo and Taiwan. Now, after the Second World War, the Allies, they came together, and it was mainly Russia, Britain, or the Commonwealth, and the United States of America. And after the war, they who were unified started to fight one another. The Cold War started between the United States of America and Russia. So the very friends who were unified, and they had the principle of any enemy of my enemy is my friend. Now they have literally started attacking one another. Maybe not directly but we know what happened with the Cold War. So this is typically a situation. Let's just watch another clip from this same Star Wars movie, and then you hear what George Lucas suggested is going to happen.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.
So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
There you have it. Is this the way our liberties will be taken away from us under tremendous cheer, making the Mexican wave? People not realizing that what we can, if we proceed in unifying, we might become the very evil we try to fight. And it's much better that we stay independent, know one another, assist one another. We, from Liberty Fighters Network side, we regularly get requests from organizations to assist them, and we do that. And we also, in turn, go to other organizations and people if we need assistance to do it. But the problem is that in South Africa specifically, and from our historic past, there are too many chiefs and not as many Indians. We see it from the creation of the political parties, where it in 5 years almost doubled. So why not just go and join another political party which is similar like yours, or an organization similar like yours, and put your effort into them? But no, we want to start a political party ourselves, or an organization ourselves. And then obviously the moment when a unified forum starts making decisions, what are we going to do together? That means that the decisions of each and every one of these these organizations will become obsolete in most respects, because now we must leave with what we are busy with, because the possibility is very good that we will not be able to challenge the mutual decision that is then being taken. And in that respect, who's going to lead? There must be someone leading this. Will it be me? I'm going to run away if people ask me to lead them in that respect, because I'm already leading Liberty Fighters Network. Liberty Fighters Network is my creation, my baby, and I've nurtured it to the level it is today. So I'm very much finicky about who I'm letting in and who I'm letting out. So in that respect, when one has got a unified forum, I honestly, under the times that we are in now, I doubt whether it's to the profit of the greater public and the greater good. I see this as a way in which you need to know who's sort of fighting in the same direction, get their contact details, work with them if you can and if you want. But when you are thrown into one basket, like a United Nations, we are now the United Nations of opposing what is going on negatively in the world. Eventually, there's going to be disagreements. Eventually, the first problem will be who's going to lead this. What will happen to the management? Well, now we are unifying again. We dislike the concept of United Nations, and each nation has got the right to look after its own interests and make its own decisions, and not be influenced by an international organization overseeing what is going on. People, to conclude, I'm not against unification of different parties, but I am against the principle of allowing an organization to not attend to what it is supposed to. If Liberty Fighters Network would come on board on one of these forums, and I'm given 5 minutes to say that this is what we do and we still do and still help and assist people, we've assisted probably 30,000 odd people since the beginning of the lockdown up till now, directly or indirectly, blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly, majority-wise, what we are doing, we are now at the African Union, which is at international level. Now we are suddenly, others would like to have an urgent application. Urgent application for what? Urgent application, we've achieved, not to say that Liberty Fighters Network is the best, but we've achieved everything that is supposed to be achieved in connection with a national state of disaster. So that is why we went to the African Union. So if we are going to sit in and be decided, and then there's a group of legal fraternity members who's going to say, yeah, but we will lodge this court case again. It is irrelevant to have any court case in South Africa specifically to address the national state of disaster. We can have court cases like, for example, challenging the mandatory vaccination policies to the Equality Court, which we are doing, and we can assist individually with the hope that the African Union will intervene very, very soon. But we cannot allow that any organization which is positively proceeding, challenging all the injustices currently going on, to wait for another and to wait for others. Rather let the others decide whether they've got the means, the expertise, and the followers to proceed doing what they want, or should they rather communicate or interact with another organization to achieve much more. Instead of grouping everyone who's now opposing is in the same basket. And then there's the other fear. Some of these organizations are not very welcoming to other cultures, and they've got a total different idea of unification. Now, say for example, I'm on this meeting, and this is for a unified forum, and one of these people are uttering things which are maybe racist, maybe totally not what we want. And then at the end of the day, because I am there as the leader of Liberty Fighters Network, and it most probably have been recorded, I will be associated with that. If they want to take me out from what we are doing, it's so simple to say that Reyno was at this meeting, and then they only show this other guy or person making, for example, racial utterances, and then I'm associated. I'm also evil there. So we cannot, Liberty Fighters Network cannot take that risk at present. So don't stop liking us because we appear to be not to be team players, but rather look at it from our perspective and then realize why we cannot afford, under the current circumstances, to be associated with a umbrella forum. It's going to be very negative towards us and what we have achieved up till now. Thank you very much for your support, and kindly remember, please subscribe to this channel, like this video if it's shareable, and also ring the bell. And don't forget that we also have membership now on this YouTube channel of ours, which you can join, and please become a formal member of this channel and assist us to do even better. God bless until the next time.